This is Tone's Take with your host, Tony Davis.
Good evening. Thank you for watching, and let's talk about Jack Ma. As the title suggests, nobody knows where he is. The Chinese multi-billionaire whose net worth is apparently $48.2 billion has disappeared from the earth. Maybe it's the aliens that our U.S. government has said they've been in communication with that are now talking to Jack Ma. But many people believe the Chinese government has probably taken him in. Yes, Xi Jinping was not in good terms with Jack Ma, and there's been a lot of friction, so to speak, with Jack Ma and the Communist Party of China, the CCP. Jack Ma is one of those financial wizard entrepreneur, can do whatever he wants. He's like the Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all wrapped up in one for China. And it's amazing that he's even gotten this far, considering that he lives in China. But there's just a lot of things going on, and apparently now he's disappeared and no one knows where he is. Why is this so important to us? Because China has had a history of making people disappear. If you remember, just last year, right around this time, it was the Wuhan doctor, Li Wenliang, who tried to raise the alarm about the coronavirus. And he was then basically beaten into submission and silenced. We've also heard about the Uyghur Muslims that are in Western China that have been taken into captivity and placed into what many consider to be modern-day concentration camps. Many might say that these people are folks that the world might not care about, they might not pay attention to, minorities living in a country that they obviously aren't welcomed in, a doctor who many might have thought was a quack until, of course, now we know he's not. But when you take somebody like a multi-billionaire, Jack Ma, and Jack Ma, he's not just a multi-billionaire. I mean, let's look at some of the things that Jack Ma has done. Look, here's a quick thing. He's got his own TV shows. This guy danced as Michael Jackson dressed up as Michael Jackson even, for his employees. This guy is well known. He is an unofficial ambassador, as this Quartz article even calls him, for China. Many people kind of see him as the face of, financial China, innovation in China. It's Jack Ma. He owns Alibaba, or he owned it. He signed off as chairman. There's just been a lot of stuff about this guy that you would think he's kind of above the law, but obviously he's not. And China has proven that. They made sure that his financial company, Ant Company, which I haven't really gotten much into, but it seems like one of those big financial companies, it was going to file for an IPO. It didn't, after Jack Ma made some comments about how the banks in China are pretty much like pawn shops and pretty much bombasted them. There's a lot of things that Jack Ma kind of did to put himself in this situation, and I guess he got to find out that he's not that powerful. After all, that money can't buy you everything. So while I lambasted billionaires yesterday, it does seem like there are some limits depending on where you live. And so I just think it's really interesting. It's a really interesting story, one, to see a man of such power and influence now suddenly disappear. I mean, he has not been seen for, I believe it's now 2 months. 2 months, if you can imagine that. I mean, the guy would tweet regularly. He's a pretty public individual, and now he's vanished. So many people are starting to wonder what's happening. And the other thing is, not a lot of news outlets are actually covering this. Again, I only learned of this through Reddit, and you saw probably on the Daily Mail, and now as I start doing a little bit more sleuthing, you're starting to see it. So it's like, why is it that we saw, again, Uyghur Muslims, they got some focus. The doctor last year, he got some focus. There have been many people that are not multi-billionaires that have gotten a lot of attention in the media and in the news, and now you have this multi-billionaire, and he's vanished. Nobody knows what's happened to him, and nobody's talking to him. Nobody's talking about him. I smell conspiracy. I think it's the aliens working with the Chinese government. Who knows? I would love to know what you guys think and what you think might come of all this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.